Welcome back to the Daily 5 podcast. It's your host, Rainey Cage. And as many of you know, I am a huge Kentucky basketball fan. I have been probably since the late 90s. I really got into it in my high school years, so early 2000s. I graduated in 03. And ever since then, I'm kind of obsessed. Kentucky basketball really runs my life between November and March. I like to see every game live. There's a very rare occasion where I don't watch them live, but I try my hardest to see every game live. I go to a few games a year at Rupp. I've been to several tournament games. I've only been to a Kentucky game once where they lost, and that was last year in the tournament to freaking North Carolina. That was one of the most heartbreaking games of all time, and I was at that game, unfortunately. But I also got to see some great games. I got to see Anthony Davis beat down Florida at home on senior night. I've been to a lot of cool games. I love this Calipari era of college basketball, and I just love my Wildcats, win or lose. But why I'm making this video is because the new basketball schedule was just released, and I wanted to go through it real quick, talk about games I thought that were going to be interesting. I've been looking through the preseason rankings and who got what recruits, and see what are going to be some tough games on the schedule, what should be some easy cupcake games, things like that. So the basketball season starts in about 2 months. The Big Blue Madness is October 13th this year. I always watch that every year, even though you don't really get a real good look at the team during then. It's just more of a party kind of thing. The blue-white scrimmage is on October 20th. That's usually another, you get to see them, but it's just, you don't really get to start seeing them until the exhibition games. Speaking of exhibition games, we have 2 this year, Thomas More College and Century College. I don't know if these are even Division I schools. Usually exhibition games we play, not even Division I schools, so it's usually beatdowns. Then our first real game is on November 10th. We play Utah Valley University, so we got a couple cupcakes this year instead of last year. I feel like we started right off with some hard games. November 12th, we have University of Vermont. That should be pretty easy. Now, our first real test will be on November 14th against the University of Kansas. Kansas was, top 4 ranked team last year. They lost two of their main guys, but they've got Malik Newman transferring in. They've got a 5-star freshman. They're preseason number 2 in some polls. They're preseason top 5 in almost every poll I've seen. So this is going to be a huge test. We're playing in Chicago, so it's a neutral game. That will be our first huge test. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I could easily see us losing that game. Then we play a few more easy teams. We got East Tennessee State, Troy, Fort Wayne, University of Illinois, Chicago, Harvard. That seems like it would be an easy game, but that might be pretty rough. We play it at home, though, so we should be able to get that. And then we play Monmouth, Virginia Tech. Then our next big test is UCLA on December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. UCLA, I feel like, they're not as good as they were last year. They do have a couple new guys coming in, but they're ranked preseason number 20. By then, we should know how good they are. I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't ranked at all, or if they had moved up all the way to top 10. Who knows? But we are playing that in New Orleans, so it's the CBS Sports Classic, so I'm hoping we can pull that off. Then on December 29th, we have Louisville. Louisville's top 5 again. Every year I think Louisville's going to be horrible, and they somehow have a good team. I don't know how they pull it off, but we'll see. Louisville's always a crapshoot. You can never tell until the end of the game. It's always a crapshoot. We're playing at home this year, though, so that's a good sign. Then we start SEC play. As far as SEC play, it's hard to tell. The early SEC rankings are, Kentucky number 1, of course, and then Florida seems to be the one that can give us the most challenge. Texas A&M, and then Arkansas. Those seem to be the top 4 teams preseason right now. I know people are real hyped about Missouri because they got the number 1, or what should be the number 1 draft player. in Michael Porter, but we'll see. I mean, you're going to need more than one good player. I know they got a good point guard now. They were the worst in the SEC last year, so I'm not too worried about them, but we'll see. Another people hyped up on South Carolina because they made the Final Four last year, but they're only returning 2 of their 5 starters, so yeah, I don't know about that. And that is about all about the SEC. We play SEC all the way till March 3rd, end it with Florida like we normally do. This year we end it at Florida. And then SEC tournament starts at March 7th, and then March Madness starts on March 15th. So it's going to be another fun year. I'm looking forward to it. I'm more questioning this year than I was last year. I felt good about last year. This year we have all new players. This might be our youngest, most inexperienced team this year. But, we always are ready when March comes around. And I feel like this will be another year. We got some really good players coming in. So I guess that'll be it. Until next time, this is Rainy Cage. Peace out.
Blame it on that contour. The hood call it